Welcome to Liberty Voice USA, the channel dedicated to cutting through the noise and delivering the unfiltered truth about American politics. In a nation where facts are often twisted to serve agendas, we stand firm in our commitment to exposing the raw political reality, holding power accountable no matter who wields it, and shining a light on the manipulations that threaten the very foundation of our democracy. Today, we delve into one of the most significant legal developments in recent American history, a ruling that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape and raised profound questions about accountability at the highest levels. A New York judge has emphatically rejected key claims made by former President Donald Trump in a long-running civil fraud case, paving the way for enforcement actions that could lead to the seizure of assets not just in New York, but with implications that echo across the country. This isn't about partisan victory or defeat. It's about the principle that no one, regardless of their status or influence, is above the law.
In the exchange, Crockett asked pointed questions. If this memo exists, why has it not been released? Why were taxpayers not informed? Why was the public not given a chance to see the internal logic behind decisions that affect every American life? At that moment, Kavanaugh paused. His usual calm demeanor faltered. He responded with a brief statement, declined to confirm the document's authenticity, and attempted to pivot to the broader topic of institutional respect. But many observers noticed the shift, from confident jurist to something more hesitant. The moment lodged itself online as a viral clip. What's important here is not simply the clip or the moment of panic. The deeper issue is this: when institutions that hold immense power, especially in shaping our rights, behave in ways that look less like open arenas of justice and more like closed chambers of strategy, we all lose. Justice Kavanaugh is not on trial here. The court is not on trial in this piece of journalism. Rather, the institution's legitimacy is under scrutiny. And the public has a right to ask, are our courts truly independent? Are their decisions the result of neutral deliberation, or are they influenced by internal memos that run ahead of public debate? You might ask, why now? Why would Crockett bring up such a memo publicly at this moment? Part of the answer lies in the broader climate of distrust toward major institutions. Whether it's Congress, regulatory agencies, or the courts themselves, the average citizen senses that decisions are made behind closed doors. By airing this moment live, Crockett brought pressure to bear, not just on an individual justice, but on a system. The timing also suggests a calculated move, with multiple cases pending at the Supreme Court that could reshape voting rights, reproductive rights, executive power, and more. The public spotlight is growing. Any hint that the court is coordinating internally to steer outcomes will amplify concern. We should also pause to note the counterarguments. Supporters of Kavanaugh and the court say that justices are human, that they do deliberate in private, that internal memoranda are part of normal judicial administration. They say the document presented by Crockett may be out of context, incomplete, or even misrepresented. Indeed, as of today, no official release of the memo or acknowledgement from the court has confirmed that Crockett's version is wholly accurate. Some legal scholars caution against jumping to conclusions based purely on viral clips or partisan claims. But they also concede, the appearance of secrecy hurts the appearance of justice.
What can be said with certainty is this: the American people are watching. They are watching how the court and its members respond to questions of accountability. They are watching how Congress responds to disclosures, viral moments, leaks, and documents. And they are watching whether the principle of open justice, that power is exercised in view of the public, still holds weight. Let's briefly consider what's at stake. The Supreme Court's recent term included rulings that shifted long-standing precedents, altered the balance of federal and state power and re-examined rules around major social issues. When the public perceives that decisions might be influenced by memos or by internal strategy sessions, the question becomes, are justices interpreting the law, or are they predicting or shaping politics? And if the latter, what does that mean for our democratic system? For Justice Kavanaugh, personally, the moment is a test. His reputation as a conservative stalwart, as a jurist committed to legal principle, now collides with a public moment in which he appeared unsettled. He could respond by offering more transparency, by urging the court to release internal documents, by pushing for more openness. Or he could retreat behind the traditional veil of secrecy that courts have relied upon for decades, claiming deliberation must remain private in order to protect independence. It is a fine line. For Representative Crockett, the moment underscores her role as a disruptor in the system. Whether you agree with her or not, she leveraged this moment to force a visible question. Why should powerful institutions remain opaque when their decisions affect every citizen? She put pressure on power in public view. The viral nature of the moment has drawn attention beyond Capitol Hill and into everyday conversation, on social media, in newsrooms, among citizens wondering whether their voices are heard, whether their courts are accountable. And for us, as viewers, as citizens, this moment is a reminder that no institution should be above scrutiny, that our rights, our freedoms, and our trust in justice hinge on visibility, fairness, and transparency, that when a justice appears to flinch, when a memo surfaces publicly, when a House member forces the spotlight, that is a moment to watch closely, because what happens there may reverberate for years.
As the story continues to unfold, we will examine who wrote the memo, to whom it was addressed, what was the intended effect, whether it was formal or informal, and how the court responds. We will look at precedent, how the court has handled internal communications in the past when memos leaked or were publicized. And we will ask, is this simply a one-off moment of confrontation, or is it a turning point in how the public views judicial discretion and institutional secrecy? In closing, the confrontation between Jasmine Crockett and Justice Brett Kavanaugh may at first appear as one dramatic TV moment, a justice caught in an unexpected display of vulnerability, a lawmaker wielding a memo in real time. But beneath that flash lies a far deeper question, whether our highest court remains transparent, whether it remains accountable to the public it serves, whether it is truly the guardian of rights rather than the architect of outcomes. If the moment changes how the court proceeds, how internal communications are handled, how justices are perceived, then this could be a meaningful shift in American governance. So we'll stay on this story, dig into the documents, follow the leak trail, and keep asking the hard questions, because democracy demands nothing less. Stay tuned, stay aware, and stay truthful. This is Liberty Voice USA, where facts speak louder than politics. But let's examine the facts calmly. The banks and insurers involved weren't helpless victims. They profited from the deals. However, the court found that the deceptions distorted the marketplace, allowing terms no honest borrower could obtain. This isn't about punishing success. Trump built an empire that reshaped skylines and branded luxury worldwide. It's about whether that success was propped up by misrepresentations that gave an unfair edge. In a system where small businesses struggle for loans and everyday citizens face scrutiny for minor discrepancies on applications, the contrast is stark. Consider the human element here. While no direct victims lost money in the traditional sense, the loans were repaid. The broader harm lies in eroding trust in financial institutions. When influential figures bend rules without consequence, it sends a message that integrity is optional for the powerful. Judge Engoron's ruling emphasized this, quoting that the defendants submitted blatantly false financial data to borrow more and at lower rates. Paraphrasing his words, this was a scheme where reality was ignored when it suited business needs.
Trump's response has been defiant, rallying supporters with claims of persecution and promises to fight on. He posted the reduced bond, averting immediate catastrophe, and continues to appeal, potentially up to New York's highest court. Some observers noted the appellate process revealed divisions, with questions about the scale of the original penalty leading to adjustments. Yet the core finding of fraud persists, a mark that no amount of rhetoric can fully erase. This saga unfolds against a backdrop of polarized America, where legal battles are often viewed through partisan lenses. One side sees vindication against a figure they believe flouted norms. The other sees selective prosecution in a justice system they distrust. But at Liberty Voice USA, we look beyond the spin. The truth is that accountability matters. If the allegations were proven through documents, testimony, and expert analysis, then consequences follow, as they would for any citizen.
Imagine the alternative, a society where wealth and prominence grant immunity from scrutiny. That undermines the democratic ideals we hold dear: equality under the law, fair competition, and honest governance. Trump's achievements are undeniable. He disrupted politics, championed certain policies, and built a movement that endures. But enduring scrutiny is part of leadership in a free republic. As this case evolves with potential nationwide ramifications if enforcement expands, it serves as a reminder of the fragility of institutions. Political manipulation of justice is a real concern, seen in various eras and administrations, yet dismissing valid findings as mere politics risks deeper cynicism. In the end, the courts will have the final say. Appeals may alter outcomes, reduce penalties, or even overturn elements. But the process itself, the exposure of financial practices under oath, has already revealed contrasts between public image and documented reality. America thrives when facts prevail over fiction, when power is checked by principle. Whatever your view of Donald Trump, this moment demands reflection on what we expect from those who seek or hold influence. Stay vigilant in these times. The story is far from over, but the lessons are clear. Stay tuned, stay aware, and stay truthful. This is Liberty Voice USA, where facts speak louder than politics.